All right, what is up, everybody? I'm Tight White, the Physical Media Mac, and I am back with another Laserdisc pickups video. You know, I found myself watching grown-ass men run Laserdisc shows till 1:30 in the morning last night, and I'm really dealing with a hangover right now, I'm not going to lie. My life has really hit rock bottom. What has happened to me? Anyway, let's show off some Laserdisc. Now, again, if you like trash, you're going to love this. I have tons of 80s trash here, guys. Some incredible movies. And this is not even all the stuff I picked up. I picked up tons of shit. So, you know, we can run this back next week and the following week, and I'll never show you all the lasers I've picked up in the last month or so. But what I'm trying to do now is watch all the movies before I show them off. So, every one of these movies I've watched. All right, first up here, a movie that I've never seen before. The Company of Wolves. The Desire, the Fantasy, the Nightmare. In the dead of night, the beast is unleashed. Now, this is kind of, well, not kind of. This is basically Little Red Robin Hood. You can see how she's in red right there. So she basically plays Robin, or Miss Robin Hood. And you know what's cool about this? You know how you see movies? I hate the glare on these, but these are not easy to take off, so we're gonna have to deal with it. See how this looks right here? There's so many Laserdisc covers and VHS covers that you see something fantastical like this, and it never happens in the fucking movie. This actually happens in the movie. They actually pull this practical effect off in the movie. And by the way, the practical effects in this movie are incredible. Maybe slightly dated, but for back then, they're amazing practical effects. So anyway, this is basically, like I said, Little Red Robin Hood, but a more like gothic style, horrific style, and you know, young ladies coming into age, and it kind of plays upon the principle of men are all wolves trying to get, you know, young ladies into bed with them, I guess, you know, something of that nature. But it this is from 1984. And yeah, man, some pretty good shit. I would recommend this. The cinematography in this is like really good. It kind of reminds me of The Wizard of Oz a little bit, the way it's shot. But I enjoyed it. Definitely, I would recommend this one. Kind of hit and miss on the reviews. I read a bunch of reviews on this. And, yeah, the majority of people like it, but some people found issue with it for some reason. I'm not sure what's going on there with that. But, anyway, I went on too long with that one. All right, next up here we have Dale Apollo Cook, which is an actual, I think he's won, like, 6 kickboxing championships. So he's like the real deal in raw targets. By the way, one reason to own Laserdisc, guys, in 2025, this never came out on DVD. And I don't believe it's gotten a Blu-ray release either, so you can only watch this on Laserdisc. Imagine that. No disc rot on this, by the way. In the last movie either, no disc rot. Disc rot is a real thing, guys, in the Laserdisc community, and, you know, something we got to deal with, but for some reason we put ourselves through it because we love Laserdisc so much. Okay, yeah, this is one that I showed off in the last video. I took no notes on this, guys. I mean, the only thing I can tell you about Runaway Train is it's about as epic as the movie can get. I would put this up in the category of William Friedkin's The Sorcerer. Not exact like the source. I like The Sorcerer better than this movie, but it's like a tier slightly below The Sorcerer. Very good film. This is something that you would want to see in a movie theater. Really, really good. Very over the top. Oh, by the way, you know, I'm watching this and I don't know until the end when I start looking at the back of the Laserdisc cover. This was actually early canon. Because it's got the Globus, what's the guy's name? Globus and Gorham. But, yeah, man, this is a canon fucking flick. But Jon Voight is amazing in it. Eric Roberts is great in it. I think they were both nominated for Academy Awards. Rebecca De Mornay's really good in it. You know, a lot of this movie takes place in, you know, the confines of a small train cabin. So there's like nowhere to hide as an actor. You really got to act your ass off to pull this film off, and they do a great job. Jon Voight is basically like a prison gangster leader in the prison, and there's a what is it called? The warden of this prison hates Jon Voight's character, and he's a maniac. This guy, literally, there's a sequence in this movie where you don't really get to know him much in the beginning of the movie. There's not a lot of character building there with him, and these so what happens, let me just tell you what happens. The operator of the train has a heart attack and falls off the train. They escape from prison, Eric Roberts and Jon Voight's characters, and jump on this train. So now it's a runaway train with no one driving it. And but anyway, like towards the end, they the warden, who I don't know what the warden's played by, but he's a really good actor as well. But anyway, at the very end, and I don't know why someone's going to pull over here, and hold on one second. All right, sorry about that. So at the very end, he's so crazy that he commandeers a helicopter. He's got a helicopter. He's basically, there's a helicopter guy flying the helicopter. He's sitting there, and then there's another guy that works for him, I guess, in the prison, and they're trying to get on this fucking runaway train from a helicopter, one of those rope ladders, and the one guy dies that goes down there, and you're thinking, okay, well, they're going to totally abandon this idea. You know, this train is going through tunnels after tunnel, coming out of tunnels, so it's like the most over-the-top dangerous thing I've ever seen in a movie, and you think, well, they're gonna quit right away. The warden is so crazy that he actually goes down the rope to try to get onto the train. Yeah, man, this is one of the best films I've seen in a long time. Highly recommend it. I'm at what I thought was an abandoned car wash. It might be an abandoned car wash, but maybe this guy's doing what I'm doing, is basically getting out of the sun to do whatever he does. Maybe he's running a Laserdisc show. Who knows? All right, now, what is this? Oh, yeah, I picked this up. By the way, I picked up most of the stuff off of Whatnot. Might be a few half-price books pickups, maybe a couple of eBay, but most of the stuff's off of Whatnot. This is something that I've never seen before. I've watched a lot of rap documentaries. So Russell Simmons presents The Show. What happens on stage is only half the story. So a lot of backstage access in this one. You get to see live performances. Probably my favorite stuff in this is the Biggie performances. You get to see Biggie perform a couple of shows from like a backstage perception. And yeah, I thought it was pretty solid. Pretty good. Who else performs in this? You see Run DMC perform in this. You see the Dog Pound perform in this. Wu-Tang performs. Snoop Dogg does a song. Slick Rick, oddly enough, is in jail the whole time they're filming this. So they basically, Russell Simmons just goes and visits him in jail and records him and does an interview with him. And yeah, Naughty by Nature performs. Solid documentary. I enjoyed it. All right, I didn't watch this like, now, but I watched it a million times in the past. So I didn't feel like I had to spin it right away, guys. But anyway, I actually prefer the original Terminator over Terminator 2, which I know is a hot take, but it is what it is. Pretty cool cover there. Surprised I did not own this in my Laserdisc collection. And yeah, the Terminator, you can't go wrong with that. Another movie that I didn't watch recently, but I did watch it for the first time a couple years back, and really enjoyed it. Regger in Split Second. Look at that cover art. And this is one of those films where less is better. You might see this for a brief second in the film, but you hardly see him at all. You more see like his claws and you know, just like brief shots of him. You don't get to see him like this in the movie very, very often, if I remember correctly. Rutger Hauer's character in this is hilarious. It's a good like buddy cop film, and he's addicted to sugar. So he's like pouring, you know, 3/4 a cup of sugar into a coffee cup, eating donuts all the time. He's like a sugar addict, so that's his thing. Almost to the extent of being like a drug addict. And he turns out his partner and turns him into a sugar addict too, I think. All right, this is a movie that I saw, I don't know, about a year ago. Found this at Half Price Books for $4.99. Yes, this is trash. I've talked about this in the past, so I won't go into detail of it. But Chuck Norris fights the devil. That's all you need to know. Chuck Norris is a badass. He went to McDonald's and ordered a Whataburger, and he got one. Mess with the Chicago cop, and there's hell to pay. I believe Chuck Norris could beat up Satan. I really do. So anyway, I already have this in my collection, so I picked this up for Arizona, the movie guy. So as soon as I stop procrastinating, I will send this your way. I mean, you know, Chuck Norris and fire on the cover. Is there anything more badass than that? I ask you. You don't have to answer. That was a rhetorical question. All right, now. Okay. Another reason to own Laserdisc in 2025. Oh, this is a real car wash. The guy's actually washing his car. And this is Nasty Hero. This was never released on DVD or Blu-ray, guys. You can only watch this on Laserdisc. If I were to look up trash, you know, cinema, Action B trash, in the encyclopedia, I would expect to see this cover. This is a true definition of trash, guys. Fast cars, fights, brawls with this guy right here. Oh, well, he's on the cover, though. I was going to show you the back. Hot chicks everywhere. Explosions. Gunfights. Really cool. Basically, this is a... they run a... like a car theft ring, and he gets set up or somewhere by somebody in the ring and ends up going to prison. And when he gets out of prison, he's out for revenge, and he gets it. He gets revenge because he's a nasty fucking hero. Love that shit, man. Good fucking film. That's TWT, guys. Tight white trash. All right, I'll go ahead and take this off. It's kind of glossy. Now, I didn't realize that I'd actually saw this on a streaming service not too long ago. And by the way, did I read the year on this? No, I didn't. I don't know where it went. Probably fell off. I'm pretty sure Nasty Hero was in the 80s. This is 1987, the Kindred. And I'm watching it about halfway through, and I'm like, oh shit, I watched this on Shudder, the streaming service, probably like, I don't know, 6 to 8 months ago. And yeah, I really enjoyed this, man. The Kindred's is a fun flick. Basically, these are like geneticists that, you know, they're playing with dead bodies and DNA and mixing DNA with animals and stuff like that. And the mother who, like, you know, actually created like a creature from his like the son's DNA or some of that. It's kind of convoluted, but realizes that he has a brother in his farmhouse, and his brother is basically this creature right here. So a bunch of the medical students go to that farm to kind of investigate the studies of the mom and to see what she was into. And that creature starts killing everybody one by one. The Kindred, man, it's good shit. Definitely recommend it. Oh shit, where'd the plastic go? Oh well. All right, really getting into my sci-fi trash, guys. This is another one that I enjoyed. Life Form. This is from 1996. Another reason, guys, to own Laserdisc in 2025. This has no DVD or Blu-ray release. The only way you're watching Life Form is on Laserdisc. Or if you want to be a VHS scumbag, you can watch it on VHS, I'm sure. There's something out there, and it found a way in. Now, the funny thing about this is it's not like overly cheesy. It's like everyone's like really trying to act their ass off. The acting's not too bad in this. They really take themselves seriously in this film. And I gotta say, the actual alien in this looks badass, man. The practical effects are really good in this one. Unfortunately, you don't get to see what it looks like on here, which sucks. Which, I mean, I kind of like because they're not giving it away. But there's the hands of the creature right there. But you can tell, like, the people that made this movie, like, really put a lot of thought into it. Were smart people, because, like, there's a lot of talk about the lunar landing and in space. It makes a lot of sense. Like, it's not, like I said, it's not overly cheesy, but it is a slow burn. There's a super duper crazy amount of dialogue in this film, so it does slow burn you. But when it gets to the third act, the creature does start killing people, and there's a couple epic kills in the film, and well worth waiting around and listening to all that dialogue. Let me put this plastic back on here. We're in no rush, guys, right? So hopefully everybody's having a good day, a good Saturday. There's like it's called a raid train. There's a ton of Laserdisc shows today. I'm going to be honest with you. I am like burned out from Laserdisc shows. Like, I don't even know if I'm going to watch any of the Laserdisc shows today. Honestly. I got 2 events tonight. It's Saturday. I skipped it last week, where I host Unreal Championship on the original Xbox, and then Unreal Championship 2, the Leandry conflict, an hour after I host that event. So I'm definitely going to take care of that, and I want to get some gaming in, man. I haven't gamed in a while. All right, this was a nice surprise here, guys. So if you know Friday the 13th, you know Sean Cunningham directed it. And so I'm like, oh shit, when I saw his name tied to this, I was like, holy fuck, I don't even know what he's directed after Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th is obviously a masterpiece. So I got interested and looked at his Wikipedia and started checking out some of his filmography. I'm gonna have to check out some other movies. But this right here is a really good flick that he directed, The New Kids. And basically, by the way, Tom Atkins, you know, B-movie legend, is in this, you know, just for a cup of coffee, basically. He gets killed in a car wreck, and his wife early on in the film. And the 2 kids, his 2 children, go off to live with their uncle in Florida. and their uncle has like a roadside carnival deal that he's just built and he's putting together and ready to open. So it has like that fun house type of vibe to it as well. Now, this came out in 1985. What else? Oh man, shit. So Lori Loughlin is in this. If you don't know who that is, she's that girl right here. She's from Full House. When she grows up, she's in Full House. Everybody knows how gorgeous she is. But somehow another actress named Paige Lynn Price finds some way to be more attractive than Lori, which is virtually impossible. I'm telling you guys, she is so fucking hot, this Paige Lynn Price chick. You gotta look her up. All right, so so basically they go to live with their uncle, start going to high school there, and James Spader is a bully, and he's got this gang of guys. If you remember James Spader from not The Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink, that's who he is in this film, but except he's a psychopath. Okay, he's that same snobby guy, but he's a redneck psychopath. Really good performance by Spader in this. I really enjoyed it. So they bully, and basically this guy is kind of a nut, this kid, so he bullies back, and they're getting into fights at the high school, and then it escalates into some crazy shit where they're trying to burn down the fucking carnival, and they're kidnapping her and torturing her. There's a lot of like dark shit in here, like setting people on fire and like really taking bullying to the next level. The New Kids, man, definitely check that one out. I highly recommend it. All right, this is the last box here, and we'll pause for the cause, and then I'll get the other box ready. All right, very interesting flick right here. And by the way, another reason to own Laserdisc is the cover art. And for some reason, I'm obsessed with this cover art. By the way, I love the these releases that show both sides of the disc, the Laserdisc, right? With the black in the background. But then when they do the art in the middle so well like this, it actually looks like a, you know, like a beautiful painting, man. It's really well done. That is like a painting type of artwork right there. But anyway, this is the little girl who lives down the lane. It's from 1976. It did come out on all three formats, guys. And it stars Jodie Foster and Martin Sheen. This is a good flick, you know. Not 100% what I was expecting, but Jodie Foster, I think, is like 13 in this. This movie's like supposed to be like highly controversial, because I guess Julia Roberts, what am I trying to say? Jodie Foster, I guess she gets naked in the film, but it's not like naked like you're seeing her private parts or anything like that. You see like her bare back, and then she gets, and I don't even know if she's truly naked. They don't show her lower half, and then they show her bare back, and then she wraps herself in sheets and gets in bed with this guy. But it is definitely sexualized, which I can see why it would be controversial, because she's this young girl that quite possibly could be living in a house by herself, and she's having sex with a boy who's probably, they never mention it, but he's probably, you know, at least 18 years old, and she's 13. And then, you know, introducing Martin Sheen, who is a pedophile, pervert, child molester, and his acting is really good in this. So that's kind of unsettling, because he keeps on trying to get closer and closer to Jodie Foster. I don't want to give too much up in this film, but I enjoyed it, and I think it's like highly collectible because of the artwork and just when it came out, and how obscure it is as a film. that makes any sense. But yeah, the little girl who lived down the lane. Jodie Foster gives an amazing performance in this for a little kid, man. She has a lot of dialogue in the film, and a lot of the film really counts on her to carry it. Then, of course, later on in life, Jodie Foster was sexualized in movies like The Accused, you know, when they were raping her on the pinball machine. And what else? Jodie Foster was in, I know she was in something else crazy, crazy sexual in nature. All right, pause. All right, guys, next box here, because I do need to, I do have a life. I need to do other things, so I'm going to race through these as fast as possible. New Jersey Drive. I would consider this a hood classic. Good shit. You know, the lead character in it does an okay job, and I think this is like a really standout performance by this guy, and his name is Gabriel Cassius. And yeah, probably the best role in the film, and I really thought he would go on to do great things, but he was kind of in some flops. You know, he was in Black Dog with Swayze and a few other projects, but yeah, I would have thought he would become a superstar, but I guess it didn't happen. And this is basically like a GTA film, except they're not really, I mean, they try to get into it at one point, but it's mostly about, you know, joyriding, you know, stealing cars just to joyride, which was like a big thing, I guess, back in New Jersey. Other cities as well, but I think New Jersey was infamous for it. And also the cop in this movie is a really good baddie. He was in, I was trying to place his face, and I finally, when I was looking at Wikipedia, and I read that he was in Open Water, the shark film, I did remember his role in that. He always plays like a real slime ball. But yeah, man, this is a solid hood film. Definitely, I would consider that a hood classic. What do I have to do today? I need to do some Goodwill hunting, half-price books I need to hit up. I really need to go grocery shopping. All right, I'll take the plastic off on this one. All right, we have Poltergeist III here. And I always remember this from watching this when I was younger. This movie's like all about reflections and mirrors and stuff, which is really cool. So I've always been a big fan of this, but I haven't seen it in a long time. So this is from 1988. And what was I going to say? Oh, Caroline, you know, the young girl from the first two films, moves in with her uncle, which is played by Tom Skerritt. By the way, Tom Skerritt is like one of the most underrated actors of all time, I think. I love Tom Skerritt, No Diddy. Really like his, like him in movies. Like to see him in movies. So basically, Caroline moves in with her uncle Tom Skerritt and his wife and or fiance or whatever the hell. And basically, Tom Skerritt's like a manager of this new high-rise condos. And what's the name of the? I think it's Tangina is the name of like the Exorcist chick from the first two films. She actually returns in this, which is cool. And let me see. Oh, so the creepy old guy, Kane, I think died right after Poltergeist 2. So unfortunately, even though he's in this film, the Kane character, it's not the original character. So he does kind of look off. It doesn't really look like him, which is unfortunate. What else here? Oh, and like the saddest thing about this, the actress, what is her real name? Let me see. Oh, whatever. I don't have her real name, but Caroline actually dies of heart complications. And I think she was only like 12 years old in this film during the filming of this. So they literally did not have her for the end of the movie and had to have like a double of Caroline, which is just so sad that, you know, someone would die at that young of an age. So anyway, guys, just be thankful, you know, for the life you have, man. I mean, I'm in my 40s. I mean, you know, 13 years old, I couldn't imagine. But yeah, that's from 1988. Oh, you know what? I forgot to talk about the movie, actually. So, or finish talking about the movie. So basically, you know, Kane comes back to get Caroline, right? And it's got all these cool sequences where there's actually a cool sequence when they're in the elevator. Tom Skerritt's character, Caroline, the wife, and there's another young lady, young daughter, which is a young daughter, and she's like looking at her mirror, and then Tom Skerritt's character tells her a story about I can't remember the name, but like in Greek mythology, this guy would stare at himself as he was obsessed with himself in the reflection of the pond, and he ended up drowning. Well, that kind of really that's kind of cool because that foreshadows a lot of stuff that happens in the film, because you'll constantly see in the reflection of mirrors, like there's one really cool sequence where they're walking down the hallway, and next thing you know, they're on the other side, they're in the reflection, and they've disappeared from the hallway. And it's basically telling you that those characters are not human. They've been, you know, possessed or whatever, and now they're in the reflection world. And so it plays all kinds of cool tricks with the reflections in this film. There's mirrors like everywhere. It's crazy. Or Caroline will be like staring at herself, and then all of a sudden, Caroline's reflection will turn into a demon. And there's some really good jump scares in there. There's 2 jump scares in this that are almost on a level with like The Exorcist III, the scene where they, you know, the nurse comes with the fucking the hatchet to cut off the neck. There's one jump sequence in this that's really good, that's almost on par with that. But I'm like halfway through this film, and I'm like, oh, this is not as good as I remembered. But holy shit, the third act is packed with so much badass shit. There's a lot. They put a lot of money into this film. There's a lot of really good special effects going down in this film. This is a nice book piece for the series to end on. Poltergeist 3, I would say pretty solid, man. Definitely highly recommend the whole series. All right, now, this was a big surprise to me, guys. I thought, looking at this would definitely be trash, okay? And I don't know why. When I first looked at it, and maybe this is when I ordered it off of Whatnot, I thought maybe this is a buddy cop film. And I know he's Mario Van Peebles, who I love as an actor. You know, he's in street clothes, so you think, okay, well, maybe he's an undercover cop. They still work for but he's not. He's a civilian, and Luke Perry is the police officer in the film. Shout out to Arizona. I got this off of Arizona. Now, when I first, okay, so I'm thinking that this is a trashy B film, like I said, which would be right up my alley, but no, this is actually like a really well-made film, guys. I was shocked at how good this is. If you have not seen Riot in the Streets, I highly recommend checking it out. This basically takes place in the LA riots and follows 4 stories which all intertwine within the main story. hold on, I'm gonna pause 1 second here. All right, sorry about that. So basically it follows 4 stories which all intertwine within the main story. Man, I was kind of blown away by this. I'm not gonna lie, man. Luke Perry actually did a decent job, which was shocking to me. But yeah, I mean, it's just like LA riots are going on, and it shows all these different people and how they're affected by it. And you know, when you think about the LA riots, you know, for a person that's white, when you think about the LA riots, you think that it's kind of like a black-white thing. You know, I know that the police officers were white, and that's what started the whole thing, how they were acquitted, right? But it's so much bigger than that. You know, it's not just white and black. There's Mexican families affected by this. The black ownership was affected by this. There were black stores that were looted, and so it wasn't like a black-white thing. It was just a bad thing for everybody involved with it. So, but yeah, man, definitely check this one out. Not trash at all. Just a solidly made movie. Very impressed by it. Now, the next film I'm going to talk about, I kind of think this is around the time that Claude Van Damme jumped the shark. Not that this is terrible, but this is one of those movies that's, I guess, so bad that it's good, because it is really bad. Now, unfortunately, it's been a while since I picked this up. Got this from a seller on Whatnot, and it has too much disc rot on it. It's not like just a little bit of snow. There's audio issues with it. So I did get a 100% full refund on this one. And like I said, man, Laserdisc rot is a real thing. Now, like I said, this is kind of when I think he kind of jumped the shark. I mean, let's face it, like the 2000s for Steven Seagal and Van Damme have not been kind at all. But this still got some cool shit with it, man. Mickey Rourke is the baddie in it. He's always good in flicks, especially being the bad guy. Rodman's just Rodman. It's like, I've always shied away from watching this one because I thought it was stupid that Rodman was in it. But I don't know. I guess he's okay in it. But the craziest thing about this film is that the hero of this film is actually not Claude Van Damme. It is a Coke machine. I bullshit you not. You have to see the film to understand what I'm talking about. But literally a Coke machine is the hero in this film. It's so crazy. Yeah, this is super cheesy and over the top. They're like at a Coliseum at one point, and there's like landmines in the Coliseum. If you step wrong on 1 foot, you'll blow up. But yet they're meeting in this Coliseum to fight each other with all these landmines everywhere. And now lions are coming into the picture. It's like so crazy. It's fun, man. It's a fun ride. And we'll get into another Van Damme film here, which I had never seen before. And I think it's one of the last, like, really good films that he made. And it was made, I think, right before Double Team. If I can ever get this back in the plastic. The problem is it has the original sheathing on it. So I'm trying to double up. All right. Oh, shit, I got plastic on the ground over here. Like stepping on it. I don't know what movie that's from. Put that back here. But anyway, the film that I'm talking about is Maximum Risk. I really enjoyed this shit. It's got Natasha Henstridge in it. This is a deluxe widescreen presentation of Maximum Risk. All right, so I was looking at Van Damme's Wikipedia, right? let me see. And stuff like. So, like, after this film, he made Double Team. All right, I'm going to spit this out sooner or later here. And then he made Knockoff. I mean, that's not a good film, right? Inferno, Legionnaire. So, I mean, you know, it's kind of the end of a great era, I feel like, possibly with this film right here. But this is a solid film. The crazy thing about Maximum Risk, guys, is this is Jason fucking Bourne right here. And it was, how many years before? 6 years before the first Bourne movie, this came out. So Jason Bourne completely stole from this film. This is Van Damme in a fucking Bourne film. I swear to God, guys. You have to watch this. Go watch the first Bourne film and then watch this shit. Or no, watch this first and then watch the Bourne film. So if you like Jason Bourne and you like Van Damme, I think you're going to love this shit. Did I oversell that? No, it's crazy. It's like, this is literally Jason Bourne, all, you know, 6 years before. I mean, I was shocked. All right, now, this is definitely trash here, guys. This was released on DVD, but it's like, it looks like a very like cheap, almost bootleg version of it. So I'm definitely happy I got the Laserdisc of this, and this is Hangfire. Now, listen to the actors on this. You got Brad Davis, Jan Michael Vincent, Lyle Alzado, Yaphet Kotto, Lou Ferrigno, George Kennedy. Are you fucking kidding me? And it's funny. So they mention all these badass actors, right? And then they leave one of the most badass actors of all time off of the heading here, which is Ken Foree, obviously from the Dawn of the Dead movies. And, you know, countless other B flicks. Now, out of all, the only thing that sucks about this is, like, Lou Ferrigno and Lyle Alzado's characters are, like, bumbling fucking idiots in the film. Like, they're not even, you know, they should have been, like, you know, ripping people's heads off and shit and shitting down them, you know? And they're just, like, I don't know, just dumbasses. But anyway, basically, this is another prison escape movie, and the sheriff in the town is, and I don't even know this actor. Maybe it's Brad Davis. Yeah, maybe it must be Brad Davis. So he's the sheriff of this town. His wife is a prison psychiatrist, and the guy in the prison the prisoner that you know, causes the prison escape to happen is played by an actor named, I'm going to butcher this, Lee DeBrox. And he gives a standout fucking performance in this film, guys. And he plays a pedophile child murderer who leads a prison break and then kidnaps the prison psychiatrist, which, again, I mentioned is the sheriff's wife, right? So they get on the bus, the prison bus, and go into the small town next to where the prison is, where he's the sheriff of the town. And they hold the town hostage. It's a very small town, like, I don't know, 50 people maximum, maybe even less than that. But anyway, I don't, like, there's not like a good picture of him. It's kind of small. But he's been in a lot of films. He's back here in the back here. I don't know if you can see him. And he really makes this film a lot better than it really is because of his portrayal of this prison gangster guy. Oh, and by the way, so they feel like it's too big of a thing for the sheriff to handle in the town. So they call in Jan Michael Vincent, who plays this asshole fucking, like, you know, wearing the cop glasses. Not the Rangers. Is it the Rangers? Some kind of elite task force they call in, and Jan Michael Vincent is the head of that He's just like a total dickhead, which J. Michael Vincent plays like the perfect dickhead in movies, man. Good shit, good trash. Check it out. All right, next up, I might have to pause in a little bit and see how many minutes I got left on my phone. All right, I've always been a big fan of Billy Drago, man. So when I heard he's a baddie in this film, I was super excited about seeing this. This is from 1988, guys. Look at the cover art on that, how badass that is. Not to be mistaken by the Freeway with, I was about to say Alicia Silverstone, not Alicia Silverstone, the chick from Sweet Home Alabama. I can't remember her name. But the Kiefer Sutherland Freeway. You got Freeway and you got Freeway 2, which are both amazing films. But this is a pretty good one as well. And this was released on all 3 formats. And basically, this ex-priest, played by Billy Drago, is a freeway killer. So he's going around the freeways of New York or wherever the hell they're at in this film. I'm not even sure. Let me see if it says it in here. And he basically just rolls down the window and sticks his gun out and shoots people in the fucking head. Just a cold-blooded fucking killer. So he's an ex-priest, and he gets into this thing where he's calling this this radio show. And some of the killings are like on air on the radio show. This disc jockey keeps on answering his calls, even though the radio station tells him not to answer the call. And that disc jockey is played by Richard Belzer, who's a comedian who plays a really good role in this, I think. And then also James Russo plays like a ex-cop in the film. But yeah, I thought this was pretty good. The chick is smoking hot in this. You see her on the back there. The traffic is murder. Next time someone cuts you off, let them. Drago's great, man, in everything he fucking plays. He plays great psychopaths. He plays great, like, gang members. All right. Next up, let's move through these. Let me pause, see how many minutes I got left. All right, moving on here. Oh yeah, this is a cool flick right here. So everybody loves Roddy Piper, man. You know, as a wrestler and as an actor, man, I cannot believe how many roles Roddy Piper had. He made so many cool movies, especially when he hit the stage where he started making movies with Billy Blanks, man. That was a really good time. They made like 4 or 5 films together, I think. But this is a pretty obscure film here, guys. Dead Tides. The deadliest undercurrent is desire. This has Tawny Kitaen in it. And I didn't realize till after the film, I couldn't place his face. And that's Miles O'Keefe. Is like, he's a cop in this film. And he's like, there's a love triangle between Roddy Piper, Tanya, and Miles O'Keefe's character. So him and Roddy Piper keep getting into fights and shit. And but anyway, Miles O'Keefe is the guy from the A-Tour films. So he's a badass. Now, this was only released on VHS and Laserdisc, guys. So another reason to own Laserdisc in 2025 is Dead Tides with Roddy Piper. And also, guys, this was a late LD release. This came out in 1997, so it looks really good. There's no disc rot on this. Simple pleasure. Cruise becomes an explosive voyage into deception and desire when ex-Navy SEAL Mick Letty, Roddy Piper, falls for Nola, Tanya Kitaen, the seductive wife of crime lord Juan Fernandez, and unknowingly becomes part of an international drug ring, pursued by the Coast Guard, DEA, and the lethal Juan Carlos, Mick must now risk his life in the love to clear his name as he sets sail for a deadly showdown at sea. Good shit, guys. Just good fucking trash. I don't think Roddy Piper's a bad actor either. I think he's a pretty good actor. All right, this movie's hilarious, man. I'm not gonna lie, man. Okay, so The Dark Side of the Moon. It says something is waiting. This is a Vidmark release. Now, never released on DVD, but there is a Blu-ray release of this now. No disc rot on this, guys. Okay, so this is definitely sci-fi trash. At times I'm watching this film and I'm thinking that this movie is like really, really bad. And then at times I'm like, this might be the greatest thing I've ever fucking seen. I swear to God, dude. It has one of the most convoluted plots of all time. Literally, it's about a space expedition somehow mixed with the Bermuda Triangle and Satan in space. I swear to God, I'm not making this shit up. It's so fucking hilarious. Now, the practical effects in this are really badass, guys. Really good shit. This is a special film. I would highly recommend this to any trash lovers, anyone that loves B sci-fi shit. This is definitely going to be right up your alley. And this is one of the reasons why I collect Laserdisc, movies like this, man. Really good shit. The Devil in Space. You can't make this shit up, guys. Let me see if I missed anything here. I mean, you would think there'd be an alien, but no, it's Satan. All right, next up here is 1983, a movie that I've never seen before, but I have heard of. And this is a Dutch killer elevator film. And let's see, I believe this was released on all 4 formats, guys. Dick Moss directed this. If you've ever seen the movie Amsterdam, the scuba diver serial killer movie, then he also directed that one as well. Let me read the back of this one. When an inquisitive maintenance mechanic investigates the faulty death trap, he discovers that something other than malfunctioning machinery is to blame. Some dark, distorted power has gained control of the monstrous lift for its own evil design. And when its horrifying discovery is dismissed by the authorities, he alone is left to battle the unholy force. One man against the perfect killing machine. Yeah, the elevator is a badass machine in this, man. And there are some really cool kills. The practical effects are definitely dated in this. There's some decapitation scenes that look hilarious. But for 1983, man, I thought this was really cool and well done. I definitely recommend it. The Lift. I could not get this in here for nothing. It's tight as hell for some reason. All right, next up here is The Offspring, another movie that I recommend. This is from 1987. I knew nothing about this film. It's actually an anthology, and one of the last films that Vincent Price starred in. He passed away like a year or so after this film. I think this movie was like lost in the shuffle because in 1987, that year was stacked with horror films. The Lost Boys, Creepshow 2, The Gate, House 2, Evil Dead 2, which made this movie kind of a forgotten gem in my opinion. Now, Clu Gulager is in this film. I want to say Clu Gallagher. Isn't he the one that died in the Twilight Zone movie? I could be wrong. The helicopter blades killed him. I could be wrong about that. But anyway, he's really good in this. He plays a nerd with these bifocal glasses. The first story is he stars in. It's probably my favorite story, and it's more in tune with the title, The Offspring, because it's like a devilish demon baby escapes from a grave and it goes after him. It's funny because he's like this nice guy, and he's in love with his boss at work, and she won't give him, like, she won't even talk to him. But all of a sudden she like decides to go on a date with him, and he's like trying to kiss her in the car, and she doesn't want, she's like, just take me home, you're so pathetic. And he kills her like right then and there. And then somehow, I don't even know if I understand the story, like why a baby came out of a grave, I don't even know, but it's done so well that I give it a pass. Terry Kaiser. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Terry Kaiser was the guy, is in one of the, probably my second favorite of the film, of the anthology. And Terry Kaiser is the guy from Weekend at Bernie's, the guy that's dead. And I've never seen him in a film before except for Weekend at Bernie's. He's actually a pretty good actor. But yeah, I think Vincent Price is great in this. He plays like the host, of the actual movie. He's like in a library, and some reporter comes in there and starts asking him questions. He starts telling the stories. Really good shit, man. 80s trash horror. I'm gonna take a sip of coffee. I'm running out of steam here. All right, this is the reason why I collect Laserdisc, guys. Look at the fucking artwork on this shit. This could not even possibly be a mainstream movie. This is a B movie 100%. This is the true definition of trash, guys. This cover art means that this movie cannot possibly live up to the artwork. That's what makes it a B movie. If the movie is better than this artwork, then it has to be the greatest film of all time, and it's not going to happen. 99.9% of the time, maybe even 100% of the time. So, when I first saw it, I was like, okay, hostile takeover. This is a high school. There's going to be rapes going on. There's going to be gangs. Nope, it's not. It's an office building where, by the way, this is from 1988. It's also known as Office Party. So David Warner, who's been in countless films, usually plays kind of a nice guy, but he's probably played some evil villain roles, I guess. He's a nice guy who kind of just loses it, and he comes up with this idea to they're working at the office. There's 4 of them. Michael Ironside is one of the characters, which I always love in films. But anyway, they're working overtime at the office building on the weekend, and then after the day is over, they decide to leave, and they realize the doors are chained locked, and he's got a briefcase, he pulls out a gun, and now he's holding them hostage. Well, the police are outside now, and they're communicating with him, and they're like, okay, what do you want so we can you can let those people go? We'll give you whatever you need. And he's like, I don't want anything. So he literally holds these guys for hostage, his co-workers. It doesn't want anything. You have no clue the whole movie why he's doing it. It's never explained or anything. He just does it because he wants to do it. It's very weird. But I would say this is, by the way, this never made it to DVD. Michael Ironside's great in it. David Warner's great in it. There's kind of like a nymphomaniac chick that's in it. And there's another chick. Yeah, it's like 4 people. They like order food and stuff. That's basically all they do. Well, you can. I don't want anything, for the hostages, but you can order us food. So it's a little bit of a slow burn, but this is a just for that artwork alone, I'm proud to own this in my collection. And it's a very obscure film, and I would highly recommend it, to be honest with you. Definitely check it out, man. Hostile Takeover. God, that cover is so fucking badass. Look at the bottom part of it. The city. The hostage situation. So cool. Yeah, if the movie is better than that cover, then it's a mainstream film. And that's probably not even true. All right, next up, a movie that I knew nothing about, and I did spin this recently and really enjoyed it. And our boy Tom Skerritt is in this. And that is Hell Camp, which is also known as Opposing Force. This came out in 1986. It looks like this was released on all formats, but the DVD is like out of print and like super expensive. So you're probably best off getting the Laserdisc. Kind of cool cover art. Again, Tom Skerritt stars in this, and then Lisa Acorn, I believe that's how you pronounce her name. Anthony Zerba is in this as well. He was in Steel Dawn and the Omega Man. Lisa Acorn is probably how you pronounce her name. I didn't take no notes on her. She's been in a bunch of films and stuff, but she has a really good performance in this. Basically, this is like around Vietnam time, where the military decides to have this training deal where they imprison their own, their own military, and so all of the people in this are Air Force, right? And the Army is the one that's doing this drill, this training course, and there's animosity against the Air Force, so it's even worse that they're Air Force, because the Army thinks that they do everything in the Air Force, just, there's a great scene. Oh, I know. So Anthony Zerbe plays a really fucking good bad guy in this, and there's an epic scene where he's got Tom Skerritt, Tom Skerritt, he's like just letting him have it and talking to him about how he's a coward and how Air Force people bomb and kill children, and man, it's one of the best scenes of the fucking movie. But anyway, they hold this camp where they torture their own men and do everything that they believe that the Vietnamese would do to them to supposedly like strengthen their resolve, so they won't like snitch or give up the military secrets and stuff. And this Anthony Zerbe's character is so crazy. He actually rapes Lisa Acorn's character, and which is really like hard to watch and stuff. But and afterwards he believes he was supposed to do that because he believes that's part of the training course. He's just a nut. He like lost it. But anyway, that Lisa character, she's naked a lot in the film. She's the only girl in this course, and they warned her before. They're like, nah, you don't want to be in this training camp because it's not for women, it's for only men. And she's like, I don't give a fuck, I'm gonna do it. So her and Tom Skerritt team up and fight back against the camp. What's the other guy that's in this? The black guy from a bunch of B action flicks in it. I can't remember his name right now. He's right there. But yeah, man, this is a cool film. Definitely. Hell Camp. Check it out. Hopefully I didn't butcher explaining that, but they fucking cage them up. They play these terrible like noises on megaphones so they can't sleep. And there's even like waterboarding in this, like way before we even knew about waterboarding. Like in 1986, they have a towel around her face and they're pouring water on her and shit. So the military's known about that for a long time. All right, next up here is Stranded. I would kind of consider this sort of a culty classic film right here. And this is basically a home invasion alien hostage film. All right, hold on one second. But yeah, this movie takes no time getting going. A plane crashes from space on Earth next to a farmhouse. Aliens get out the crash, the wreckage, and bum rush this farmhouse where a grandma and her beautiful granddaughter is staying. And then all of a sudden, just so happens like a couple of neighbors come by. They're all rednecks and stuff. They see the aliens in the house, and a confrontation happens. One of the aliens gets killed, and then the aliens shoot back at the guy and kill him. Next thing you know, the police are involved. They're outside the house, and then I don't want to give too much away, but you're wondering, well, are these aliens actually good people or bad people? So that's what the mother and the grandmother start learning about the aliens and stuff. And this was only released on VHS and Laserdisc, man. How many times do I gotta tell you guys? This is why you need to collect Laserdisc, guys. A really cool thing in the film, one of the characters, one of the alien characters, is played by Flea of Red Hot Chili Peppers, the Jester character. And at one point, Jester is in the kitchen eating Oreo cookies, which is really funny. What else? This is from 1988. And yeah, man, I would highly recommend this one. What else? Well, moving on. I don't want to talk too much about it. My phone's about to run out of time, so I need to rush through these. I got a couple more to show you guys, and I'll let you guys go, and I'll get on with the rest of my life. I got shit I gotta do, guys. Get in there. All right, hold on. All right, guys, last two films here. Now, this one was shockingly good, man. This is a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Ray Don Chong is smoking hot in this. And then a chick that I didn't realize, like, I'd seen her in other films, Carrie Warrer, is also just a smoke fucking show. I recognized her face, but I didn't realize that she's been like the leading lady in like so many cool horror films. She was in Hellraiser, Deader, Anaconda, Eight-Legged Freaks, King of the Ants, and she was also in Beastmaster 2. So she plays like a really good leading lady. She's so hot, man. No disc right on this one. Boulevard, starring Lou Diamond Phillips and Ray Don Chong and Lance Hendrickson. And Lou Diamond Phillips plays a slimy pimp in this film. Such a good portrayal. And then Lance Hendrickson plays like a real slimy fucking cop. Like a down and dirty, like, you know, like there's one sequence where he like walks into, basically Lou Diamond Phillips has like a warehouse that they hang out and stuff as prostitutes, and you know, when they go to drink and play pool or whatnot. And Lance Hendrickson walks in there and like pisses on fucking, pulls his dick out and pisses on Lou Diamond Phillips' shoes while he's having a conversation with him. That's what kind of cop he is. But Lou Diamond Phillips is a nasty motherfucker in this. And basically what happens is Carrie Warrer's character is beaten and abused by her husband, and she escapes and goes, like, moves out of the city and escapes from him. And like he's trying to find her and stalk her down, and she ends up, you know, escaping to the big city and being homeless, where Ray Don Chong's character picks her up and she lives with her, and she basically teaches her the ropes about prostitution and stuff. And sooner or later she starts walking the streets with Ray Don Chong's character. And but Ray Don Chong doesn't have a pimp, and Lou Diamond Phillips keeps on fucking with her, and then all kinds of bad shit happens. Finally the crazy ex-husband tracks her down, and all this crazy shit happens. And yeah, man, I think this is a really solid, there's a bunch of these like pimp, prostitute, thriller films out there, and I usually enjoy them. This is one of the better ones I've ever seen. And yeah, so check it out, Boulevard. All right, I think we made it, guys. I don't know if I went a whole hour, but I probably did. I feel like I've been talking for 2 hours. My voice is killing me, especially with this hangover. All right, last film for now. So I got lots of lasers to show you later. Unfortunately, this does have a blowout. I hate blowouts on lasers. Was unaware of that when I bought it. Stepfather 2. Pretty much a classic. But you know, the thing about this film, I've seen it multiple times, but I completely forgot that Meg Foster, and Meg Foster is like my Hollywood crush. It probably starts with Meg Foster. I love Meg Foster. And it's weird because when I really think about it, Meg Foster has not really fit my taste, you know? I like a girl with a big butt, some big breast. Meg Foster has maybe some mosquito bites, kind of bony in the back. But I don't know, man. Maybe it's those eyes. I don't know what it is, but I am so attracted to her. Not nowadays, but back in the day. Oh, man. She is just so fucking hot. Anyway. The same killer from the first film returns. What's his name? His name is Terry O'Quinn. He plays such a good psychopath. I can't remember what he was in the first film because he's always like acting like he's someone else and tricking families and stuff, and then basically kills them, right? So in this one, it's really funny because he's a psychiatrist, or he's acting like he's a psychiatrist, and he's a nut job, you know, that kills families, but yeah, he's trying to help other families, which is really hilarious. Can't remember if I mentioned this had no disc rot. Yeah, good film. It's got some craziness at the end with like this, you can see where she's all bloody in a wedding dress. He like sets up well, I don't want to give it up, but yeah, good shit, man, good trash. All right, guys, thanks for checking out the video. That's all the Laserdiscs that I picked up that I've actually watched recently. And maybe we'll do another one of these next week or the following week. You guys have a great weekend. I'll talk to you guys later.